Here we go for another edition of Jofo in the Ring. And yes, my name is Frank Jofo, and this right here is Kyle the Spoiler Morin. What's going on, Kyle?
Nada.
Nada much, man.
Nada. Ready to get into the fucking meat of today's episode.
30 years of Chris Jericho.
30 and about 30,000 catchphrases and nicknames.
And 30,000 T-shirts.
The Ayatollah of rock and roller.
The champion.
Le Sex God.
The champion.
Y2J.
The greatest
the Lionheart
of all time. That's the one I think he goes on to this day. Is the greatest of all time. I know.
He's definitely in the conversation.
He's definitely in the conversation. He wasn't in the
Mount Rushmore.
In the Mount Rushmore a couple episodes back, but like we said,
he was in. We talked about him.
Yes, we talked about him enough to say that he was
an honorable mention.
Yes,
an honorable mention.
Honorable
Listen,
mention.
Chris Jericho. You can't. You're gonna talk about wrestling. You're gonna bring up Chris Jericho.
Well, 30 years in the business. I think that, he's still going. You know what I mean? Like he's at the top of his game still, and he's going to be 50 years old in a couple of weeks, you know, so.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, just to say.
50
years old, and he's still on top of his game. He's got a podcast.
He's got a band.
He's got a band. He's the greatest wrestler of all time. Longest reigning. Not the longest reigning, but he had the most Intercontinental title reigns.
I think The Miz is tied with him now, though.
Yes. 9?
9.
He's
the 9-time Intercontinental champion. First ever undisputed champion.
First ever AEW champion.
First guy to ever beat Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night.
You know what? A lot of people say, like, I still can't believe that. I still can't believe it because sitting there watching that event, there was 4 guys that were potentially going to be the next undisputed champion, the first ever undisputed champion, and to think, hey, Chris Jericho is going to be undisputed champion. No, there was no chance.
Kurt Angle was there. Kurt Angle, The Rock, Stone Cold, Jericho,
and at the top of their games. So not to take anything away from Chris Jericho at the time, he was on top of his game. Don't get me wrong, but you had The Rock, Stone Cold, and Kurt Angle, in front of him. So just to say, even if he beat, let's say, The Rock the first match, and he lost to Stone Cold in the second one, I still would have been proud of him just as much as I'm proud of him now.
Clean win over The Rock,
but it wasn't a clean win.
Yeah, no. Just like his win over Austin wasn't clean either.
That's what I'm saying. Vince McMahon had a hand in it too, because like I
said,
Booker T. Vince McMahon always says, you don't win, I make you win.
Well, what did he say? Well, Jericho said, he was talking about this the other day on a podcast that I was listening to. Apparently, he said that he overheard that he was going to get the belt.
Yes.
McMahon talking to Undertaker, and he said, "What the hell's this business coming to? And we're going to put the belt on Jericho."
Imagine sitting there and catering, and it's like,
hey, you're eating your fucking potatoes, and you're just fucking.
And you hear that, it's like, are they serious? That's Vince McMahon, right? You know, Vince McMahon doesn't talk. Well, he talks a lot of bullshit, I'm sure, behind the scenes, but
he's a crazy old man. Of course he does.
Old man, but Jesus Christ, to that point, it's like, okay, am I winning the title?
But he
found out that night. He found out that night. Imagine. And like he said, it's not like I was able to tell my family to come in and savor the moment with me, you know. But
yeah,
unbelievable, man, unbelievable. But he was an Intercontinental champion for 9 times. He's tied with The Miz. He was a television champion.
Yep.
He was a cruiserweight champion.
I believe a European champion.
Okay.
A fucking tag team champion.
Yes.
Never won the WCW. Oh, wait, no, he did,
yes,
but it was in WWE.
Yes, it was in WWE.
So
he never won it in WCW. He never had a chance to win in WCW. That's the reason why he left WCW to come to WWE at the time. But just to say, so to me, honestly, there's no one's going to replicate this guy's career ever. There'll never be another Chris Jericho.
He's kind of like The Undertaker. He's still going. He keeps reinventing himself. He's like The Undertaker for those wrestling fans who didn't grow up with The Undertaker.
Yes. Yes, he revolutionized his career. He always goes one up on himself every time.
Exactly.
He never stays in that same constant storyline or that same catchphrase or that same he always revolutionizes himself. That's why I like Chris Jericho. He always keeps himself relevant.
I know. I haven't seen him
wrestling.
wear a scarf in forever.
Wow.
He just has the bandana now.
He always makes fun of stuff that he does when he used to do stuff in WWE. To the point where in AEW it's a whole new thing now. So
yeah,
he doesn't like that you brought back the lexicon of, that was the list of Jericho in WWE. But he goes, that was bad creative in 2016 or whatever. But
no, that's what he said about We the People.
Yeah, with Jake Hager,
the lexicon of Le Champion,
Jake Hager. But
and he took credit for the bandana, for bringing the bandanas back because he was wearing it. And then the pandemic started, and then apparently those bandanas started just flying off the shelves.
Yeah, the guy's got his own champagne line and everything.
The guy he's a walking catchphrase machine.
Yes, exactly. Just strap something onto him and let's see what happens. Because it's eventually going to work.
He's the demo god.
He's said it enough times.
He's the demo god.
He's Le Champion. But to me, the one thing that stands out to me, and it's honestly probably the one thing I watch almost every single day, besides his the Judas song from Fozzy, is his rivalries that he used to have with Kevin Owens back in the day.
Festival of Friendship.
And Festival of Friendship. I'm a big Kevin Owens fan.
Are you?
Yes. And I'm obviously a big Chris Jericho fan. And to see those two combine each other in that time of WWE when nothing was going anyone's way back then.
Yeah, you wore the Kevin Owens shirt last night for the live payback that we did that you can still watch. So check that out.
But yeah, it's basically probably the last long storyline in WWE that everybody wanted to see in the end.
Yeah.
Because it was nowadays you get those storylines that are very quick, get it over with kind of deal. But this one here, it was more or less for almost a whole full year on Raw. They were the main event on Raw every single time.
The only thing I didn't like was how that feud ended. He cost Owens the title. Goldberg got it, which is fucking stupid. Should never have happened. That match should have been for the Universal title.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. Goldberg Lesnar is a fucking bigger. You get more money for that. But
well, like Jericho said too, there was a
give
point.
Us something.
There was a point where Vince McMahon said, "Hey, you guys are going to main event WrestleMania for the Universal title." And you know what? And that's how it should be. I understand there has to be money made on WrestleMania. I understand, but the work that him and Kevin Owens put in to that rivalry that whole year, it should have been automatic, or at least co-main event.
And not only that,
they were the second or third match of the night.
And McMahon hated that match.
Yeah, and he hated that match. Just on top of that, was there something brewing in the background that we don't know as fans? But to me, that should have been higher on the card. That's 110% of WrestleMania.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the feeling of them two in the ring, it was. We were salivating for it, but they weren't giving it to us. Then when they actually were gonna give it to us, it was like, oh, okay, just another match. And then you hear that nobody liked it. I personally liked the match because I liked it, but I wanted more. I wanted a more of a universal title feel or a co-main event feel, but we didn't get that. So. And then you wonder why Chris Jericho went to AEW or he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling after that. It's like, what do you want to do?
Wrestle Kingdom match, though.
What do you want to do? Well, I'm not big on New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I should be, but
I mean, I only watched it because Jericho was there.
I've heard a lot of good things coming out of the Painmaker, and he kills it out there too, and he's an attraction. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
He shows up, he takes over Japan.
Everybody loves him, wherever he goes, but for some reason it didn't work. I don't know. I'm sure money was a big deal for his departure and not maybe getting creative control, because I heard through the grapevine that John Cena's first pay-per-view match was against Chris Jericho.
I believe Vengeance.
Yes, and Vince McMahon wanted John Cena to they wanted Chris Jericho to be John Cena, but Chris Jericho contacted Vince McMahon the night before and said, "Hey, Vince, I think this guy's got something." And Vince McMahon didn't at that time. Who is John Cena? It was just another guy trying to come up and make a name for himself, but he didn't have that. Hey, this guy's going to be the face.
Yeah, he was the face that runs the place.
But he wasn't even the face. There was no face yet. Like, there was no thought of John Cena even being John Cena, who he is today. So he's like, "Oh, Vince, why don't you put this guy over? This guy's got real something going for him. Maybe beating Chris Jericho on the pay-per-view, on his first pay-per-view, will catapult him into that next level." And what if that match never happened that way? What if Chris Jericho beat John Cena? Would John Cena be the John Cena he is today? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But just to say that he saw that vision, and I know that he sees this vision with people in AEW as well. That's why he fights these Pineapple Pete, and he lost to Fandango at WrestleMania.
Fucking Pineapple Pete.
He wants to produce superstars. He wants his legacy to live on throughout these superstars.
I mean, yeah, he did. He lost Fandango, but he got it back 2 years later when he beat AJ.
Yeah, that was a great match too.
Another great rivalry.
That was a great match too.
Y2 AJ. Remember they even made the shirts for a fucking week straight.
Yeah, but they weren't together for a long time.
No, they were together for like a week.
No,
and they had the shirts.
Yeah.
And then they had the match.
And then
that was it.
That was it.
And then
see, that's what I don't understand. That's where I think his argument comes when going to AEW. It's like carte blanche. It's like the door is open to do whatever you want. But in WWE, you have to go through 16 doors to get to that last door.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And I can see why a lot of these guys get discouraged when they're trying to build their characters and trying to put out a good match and trying to put out good promos, when in the end, hey, you could have the best promo of your life, but get to the side, But AEW, at least, I don't know, it's just a different vibe, I guess. That's what I hear from a lot of people.
And we get to see him go against, like you said before, the smaller guys, like Orange Cassidy, and Pineapple Pete.
Yeah, so.
And he's got the fucking inner circle now, so there you go.
Well, to me, like, him making the inner circle, I'm sure it's just a broad thing to say. I'm sure a rivalry is going to happen between him and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, but he's also building stars.
Yes,
which is important.
That's the most important. When you're at that stage, you can't always be the world champ every single time you're on TV, right? So, kudos to him for that.
And one thing we haven't mentioned, very important about Chris Jericho, the man of 1,004 holes.
Ooh, okay. Was it I thought it was 1,002 holes.
It was 1,004.
Dean Malenko had 1,001, right?
He had 1,000.
1,000.
And Jericho thought of 1,004 holes.
He came out with the list. Remember that list he came out with?
The very first list.
The computer paper with the things on the side you had to rip off there from those old school printers. And armbar, Canadian suplex, and then it went to commercial,
and
he was still there after the commercial break. Oh my God!
The Saskatchewan fucking
he always got something
toe
hidden
dropper
in his
or
pocket.
something.
He's always got something in his pocket. That's why I admire him, because he, at one point, he had Drink It In, man, and he had It, and he had Stupid Idiot, and you just made the list. He had so many catchphrases. He had everything. He had so many things, and he was a bad guy at the time. And people were cheering him.
Yeah.
And then he had to come out and say, "Do you think I'm going to put him on the list? All you people here don't deserve to be on my list." So just to get the crowd going a bit, they'd boo, and then they would cheer him 2 seconds later. It's like, what's going on here?
I remember
that's something special, man.
Remember he put James Ellsworth on the list just because he was ugly.
Yeah. Chinks McMahon.
Yeah, Chinks McMahon.
Sorry, we please, we have a lost child at ringside.
You know what happens to people whose faces are weird to me? Do you want to know what happens?
Oh, my God.
You just made the list.
Oh, my God. And that's why, honestly, like...
And he brought scarves.
The scarves
were killing it?
Scarves were killing it. Do you know how much the scarves cost?
Like $7,000.
No, it's $750.
$750. No, the jacket was $7,000.
$7,000. The one Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose still owes him like $10,000 for
and Orange Cassidy.
And Orange Cassidy.
When he dumped the orange juice on him.
Yeah. But see, like
poor bastard Kika and his jacket.
And his music, his entrance music, everything just, like it's like some people would say, is somebody telling you to do this? This is all in his head.
Do you know how many people, when I was in high school, whenever they come into the classroom, they'd come in like this?
Oh yeah,
with their back to
that
us.
was a classic. We had a guy like that in my high school when we used to do the LWF. It was called Adamo Rinaldi, and he was the Chris Jericho Y2J, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, and he used to always come into class, break the walls down, and just the pump with the fist.
Come on, baby!
Yeah.
I remember when he used to put his foot on people's chest and flex to pin. I used to piss my buddies off because we played WCW NWO Revenge. I'd take Jericho, beat the shit out of the guy, and then fucking.
Is there someone in today's roster that
either Revenge or World Tour
that could replace Chris Jericho if you were retired tomorrow? To me, honestly, like I'm gonna.
That's like saying who can replace the Undertaker.
I know, but to me, maybe the closest one for me would be Kevin Owens, because him and Kevin Owens were like two peas in a pot. Like they were. It's like cereal and milk. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but I don't. Owens, yes, but I don't know. I just find he doesn't have that little something Jericho had.
Well, give him a couple of years, I'm sure, but
a couple of years, but like he's been in the business how long now?
He always says, I remember 15, 20 years.
Yeah, when I first saw Jericho and he had like the fucking crazy hair on Nitro, and he had Ralphus, and he was doing the Goldberg entrance, and he'd get lost on his way to the ring. I can't see Kevin Owens doing shit like that. He takes himself too serious.
His character, yes, it's true. But so who do you think?
I don't know. I don't think anybody can.
The one and only Chris Jericho.
Exactly.
That's a good answer. I like that.
It's like saying who's going to replace the Undertaker?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No, I don't think
Who's going
so.
to replace Austin?
Because they always try to get somebody to replace somebody, right? Like to be the next guy in line. But I like to say, like Roman Reigns replaced who?
John Cena.
Yeah, but in the end, let's take this into consideration. The three criterias of the Bret Hart scale that Jeremy Barnoff did.
Yeah.
Which was
Jericho hits all of them.
Hits all of them. So it was
wrestling.
It was wrestling ability,
promos,
and
the look.
10, 10, 10.
I mean, he definitely has the look now. He's always coming out. He's got the bat. He's got the jacket.
He's always got like that
strutting.
Yeah,
he's always strutting.
Because if he was like
he pauses. He lets people finish singing his
If he was a wrestling figure, you would have what? You would have the list in his hand. You would have the bat in the other hand. And when you have the scarf around his neck.
Well, they had that pop that came out, and he was holding the list, and he had the pen.
Oh man!
Fucking
he's the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Can you imagine what it would have been like if you remember in April, in like 2000, he beat Triple H for the title, but they didn't count it.
And they what was that?
Because it was a fast count.
Fuckery there.
Because Triple H shoved Earl Hebner.
Okay.
And then Jericho did knock
this
Triple H
Raw,
down.
Right?
Did the lion
this is
salt?
On Monday Night Raw, right?
Did the lion salt, pinned him. Earl Hebner slid in, fast count 1, 2, 3, and he hired the APA at ringside.
Okay, because Earl Hebner got hit by Triple H, so he was pissed off, so he counted quick.
Exactly.
To piss him off, right?
So then they had the title match stricken from the record books.
Was this before he won the Undisputed title? Or
it was
after?
in 2000.
So he hasn't won the Undisputed title yet.
Nope.
So he hasn't even won a world championship yet. Wow.
No.
So it's stricken from the records.
Stricken from the records. It never happened. But hey, it happened.
It happened. We saw it.
We
saw it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I was watching it. I have it on videotape.
Man. Unbelievable.
Fucking VHS.
But just to say, like but another rivalry which I really liked was the CM Punk one when he was fighting CM Punk.
You're gonna drink, Punk. You're gonna take a sip.
A little bit personal. A lot personal in there.
Making fun of CM Punk's sister.
Who knows if a lot of I'm sure a lot of it was true because we now know what the story was, but I'm sure there was a lot of innuendos and little low blows there to each other because they both called themselves the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Well, CM Punk was the best in the world. Jericho was the best in the world at what he does. So we're just gonna fucking put a pin in that, if I may.
They're about the same age, so I would. You know what? If they could wrestle one more time just to settle the score.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
It's not going to happen in WWE, so
it's probably not going to happen in AEW.
No.
Apparently, Punk wanted too much money.
You think he deserves that money? I think.
I mean, as a wrestler, yes. As a UFC fighter,
No,
absolutely
no,
not.
Obviously not. But I'd love to see Chris Jericho once again face CM Punk, but we'll never see that. Who in the current roster do you want to? What did we saw? Did we see Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho?
Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. No, on AEW TV.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it happened at Full Gear.
Okay.
No, not Full Gear. All In.
All In.
When John Moxley debuted.
Yes, for the title.
Yeah.
No.
It
wasn't
was just
for
the main event.
It was just the main event. Okay.
Yeah. Because they didn't have a title yet, and I think Bret Hart had only brought it out like that match.
Ah, yes. Okay, the whole Bret Hart thing. Yes. Okay, I remember that. Bret Hart to Chris Jericho.
Did that happen?
I'm trying to remember that.
I mean, they were in WCW at the same time, so they could have.
No, but he was more. He wasn't in the class of Bret Hart at the time. Chris Jericho was still a cruiserweight at the time when Bret Hart came in WCW, right?
Well, I think he was the television champion, no?
But he wasn't at the time. Like there was no reason for him to face Bret Hart.
Yeah.
That's
Still,
what
though.
I'm thinking.
I mean, he was still Chris Jericho. It was Monday Night Jericho.
Well, we never had.
Are you gonna tell me Bret Hart went on to Chris Jericho's show
and
wouldn't wrestle him? Do you know what happens to people
who
go on Chris Jericho's show?
Well,
and don't wrestle him?
D. Rassa knows because he's already on the list. But that's for another day. D. Rassa.
Pretty sure you threw Danny Malazzi on that list too.
Danny Malazzi is permanently on the list. Chris Jericho retires tomorrow. Would you? I'd love to see him on commentating. That's another aspect of his game.
Absolutely.
That nobody. Well, not a lot of people talk about. A lot of people know because he only did it with AEW. I'm pretty sure he's never. Maybe he's done it with WWE, but not to the extent he's been doing it with AEW. Almost every Wednesday night he was doing it for 2-3 weeks in a row.
But he's great at it.
But wow.
The thing is, I think if Jericho retires tomorrow, we don't see him for a little bit,
and then he comes back as a commentator.
And then he comes back as like
manager.
Maybe managing the Inner Circle.
That's if the Inner Circle still exists. I think it's gonna. You know what? Because as much as you have factions and stuff, factions have to dissolve.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
But they need to be built up first. I mean, if you think about it, what has the Inner Circle been really doing lately?
Well, the Inner Circle was one of the first factions of AEW.
Yep.
You could say, right?
Yeah.
So,
what them?
They could always disband. They could always disband and come back, but that's one thing. Like, I don't know.
They're kind of focusing on tag teams now, though. He's supposed to be. He's teaming up with Jake Hagar.
Yeah.
They just had that one tag match.
We're supposed to know that. Or?
Yeah. Yeah. They just had that one tag match. And
the inside man.
I got a guy.
Who's the inside man?
You got a guy. I got a guy. You got to go to the guy I go to.
Do we know all? We all know him, or we all are him?
He's everywhere.
Good English we talk here. We know English on this show.
I is English.
Okay. So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite finishing move by the Ayatollah of rock and rolla?
I gotta go the Lion Tamer.
You're the Lion Tamer
with the knee on the fucking head as he cranks it, not
the
walls.
Do you think you could do? What was the movie you used to do? The springboard or the
lion salt?
The lion salt off the second rope.
No,
I know.
Not at all.
Bruno's been saying that he's been able to do that all his life, but you know what? I kind of believe him. You know.
Yeah, but Bruno also says he can upload a screenshot without it being a black square. So you know, fucking call a spade
What do you
here.
want to believe? Exactly. Exactly. Well, if he's able to do it, I hope he can show me one day because I know Bruno is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
He could be one of the greatest trivia guys of all time too.
He could be if he beats me. That's the deal. That's the deal.
Have you been studying?
I have been studying.
You just raw natural talent. You're just going in.
I'm just gonna go with what I know. That's it. Hopefully the questions come my way, but hopefully I don't get screwed. But we'll see.
I don't think you will.
No, I don't think so either.
No,
we're all friends here, right?
Exactly. We're all pals.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. But yeah, no. I like the Lion Tamer. You got the Code Breaker.
I'm a Code Breaker.
You're a Code Breaker
guy?
guy?
I'm a Code Breaker kind of guy.
Did you know that Ricochet texted Jericho and asked him if he could start using the code breaker.
Really?
Yeah, because he
I
got
like
tired
that.
of doing
That. I like that.
because he didn't want to keep doing the what is it, the 720
Yeah,
off the top rope at every
seven-
fucking house show.
the 720 at every
Yeah.
house show.
Yeah.
Just saying that is like, what the hell is wrong with you?
So we called
You
Jericho.
still do it in house shows. Fuck.
So we called Jericho, and Jericho said sure.
Yeah, why not? You know what? That's great. That I like to see that because before someone says, "Hey, Ricochet stole his move,"
Yeah.
hey, by the way, he called me. Do I have to tell you he called me? And you know what I mean? That's the respect amongst wrestlers. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. So yeah.
So what was
what's your favorite move, Bruno, of the Lionheart, Chris Jericho?
The Lion Tamer.
The Lion Tamer.
Yeah, it's a classic.
That was his first?
Yeah.
That was his first finishing move. That
Yeah. I don't know if it was his first finishing move.
was the one that's the first one.
But that's the one I
comes to mind.
associate with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's the first
You
one
s-
that comes to mind to everybody out there, right?
Exactly. You associate anything with Chris Jericho, it's the fucking Lion or the
Yeah.
the Walls of Jericho was good. It was a cool name, but it was
Well-
just a Boston crap.
I guess do you think they called it the Walls of Jericho for WWE purposes,
Maybe.
or they just? Did they? Okay, this is the question. Did they ever call it the Lion Tamer in WWE?
I think they did, but he put it on as the Lion Tamer.
Yes, because a lot of stuff that comes from WCW, I know that they changed it somewhat so that it's a WWE
Yeah,
move.
exactly.
It's not. They're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how WWE works, so. To me, yeah.
They took the Lion Tamer, they turned it into the Walls of Jericho. They took the NWO and they made it shit.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did with the Lion Tamer.
Greatest tag team partner.
For Chris Jericho?
Well, you know who mine.
Ralphus.
You know what mine. Ralphus. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Ralphus.
To me, obviously everyone knows I'm a big Kevin Owens fan, so I would go with Kevin Owens. I know Bruno. If Chris Jericho tagged with Big Papa Pump, then that would be the answer. But let's ask Bruno.
Bruno, who do you think Jericho's...
I'm asking him too many questions.
I
today.
can't even remember any.
I'm
of his
asking
tag
him
team
too many
partners, to be
questions.
honest.
No? Well, he had AJ Styles,
Big Show.
Big Show. Was it Jericho?
It's all out of
Jericho.
my realm of. That's like the blank part of my wrestling knowledge.
Oh, so you're not a wrestling fan? Okay, cool.
Okay.
So
PG era wasn't really my thing. PG era WWE is
He
in
was
my
watching
bag.
ECW at the time.
he had that
So I'll say
Or he was training
I'll
for
say
the
I'll say
marathon that
Sammy
he was gonna run
Guevara.
in.
Sammy
the
Guevara.
Spanish
Guevara.
God.
They sex gods.
Lay sex gods. Sure, hey, that's
Hey,
you
why
see-
don't they call him that anymore, Bruno?
you see? You see how
Ask Sasha Banks.
he's in a tag team with Sammy Guevara. We need a name. What do you got? Lay sex gods. Let's go with it.
Yeah, he's fucking genius. I mean, he made the French language relevant again. Le
If I was
champion.
gonna open a wrestling organization, a wrestling company right now, you'd be at the top of the list for in-ring performer and even outside as
Well, not only are you getting
an agent or a scout in the back.
if you hire, that was such a smart move when they hired him for AEW, because not only are you getting Chris Jericho, the wrestler, you're also getting Chris Jericho, the backstage guy.
Yeah, of
Who's
course.
giving all these young guys little
Exactly,
pointers,
because you need
throwing
guys
out
like that.
ideas.
like guys like I was gonna say Goldust. What's his name in AEW?
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' brother. Anyways, Goldust, Dusty Rhodes,
Dustin.
Dustin is another example in the
Don't
back in
disrespect
AEW,
a legend
right?
like that,
Yeah.
by the way. Get his
I
name
hear
right.
Something, but I
Get
just
his
don't
name
know where
right,
it's
man.
coming from.
Come on.
Must be the next door neighbor. Anyways, so I guess that's
Don't
gone.
disrespect the first
it's
family of
Bruno.
wrestling,
It's Bruno
The McMahons?
the Rhodes.
Rhodes.
First he disrespect Cody, and he disrespect fucking
I'll
Dustin
disrespect
Rhodes.
Cody
And he disrespect the father.
every day, all day. I don't care.
So, how do you feel about Cody coming back this week? He
You know what?
Jumps Brody Lee after his match with Orange Cassidy.
I hope Chris Jericho takes him in the back and slaps him a couple of times behind the head and says, "Stay the hell out of here. We don't need you on TV anymore." And that's another thing too. Sometimes maybe he doesn't have to be on TV, Cody Rhodes, to be Cody Rhodes, you know. But now, honestly, I think at the time it was too much Cody Rhodes, and now I don't
You're
know.
happy that there's no Cody Rhodes.
I'm just happy he doesn't have the title. Just to tell you the truth, I'm happy. I'm the happiest guy in the world, and I'll be even more happy when I beat Bruno in the trivia match. So, hopefully, there's a Chris Jericho question in there. But We'll see. We'll see.
Do you remember when Jericho had that feud with China?
With China?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Over the IC title.
I don't remember that.
They accidentally, I forget who it was, but they pinned each other.
Okay.
And they both got crowned the Intercontinental Champion. So they were co-champions.
Oh my God. Was that her first Intercontinental title win? Or
I think it was the second.
Because you don't want to be associated with China's first Intercontinental, first woman to win a men's singles title, and she was the co-champion with Chris Jericho. You know?
First woman to win a men's title, and she wins it in a housekeeping match.
Welcome to WWE, folks.
Welcome to WWE, where we read between the lines.
Oh my God! But no.
So here, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Favorite Jericho entrance theme?
Oh, it's the countdown. It was
Yeah?
the one that he came when The Rock was in the ring. The countdown went.
I gotta go with Judas.
Break the walls down.
Yeah, that was a
Boy's
classic.
about to rock.
Remember when he had? I remember for it was like a couple months. He only had it was Saliva. Remember the band Saliva? They were doing his theme song.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he ever get a live entrance to WrestleMania? You know, I'm not too sure about that. Now that you say that, I don't think so. It doesn't seem like you would get live.
I don't think he'll be doing that now anytime soon. Was he gonna sing his theme song as he walks to the ring? He could. He could. He could. Hey Jericho, there you go, buddy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why hasn't he done it yet.
I don't know. Maybe he will now. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. September 27th, 2020. Chris Jericho, sing your theme while you walk to the ring.
That's amazing. And you know what? There's a lot of things that he does off the cuff that he hears on Twitter and stuff like that. So maybe, you know what?
I mean, he invented the fucking Money in the Bank ladder match.
That's another thing, too. And he's never won it.
And he invented
He
the
never
Mimosa.
won it.
Same thing with the Mimosa Mayhem match. He never won that.
Never won that. But, yeah, the Money in the Bank, he's never won. I think he's been in about 2-3 of them. That's for sure.
Yep.
But just to say, like, they could have never strapped that briefcase on him and say, hey, Jericho, let's see what you're made of.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he really needed it at the time.
Yeah, that's another thing, too.
He was already Chris Jericho.
That's another thing, too. But they gave it to Brock Lesnar once upon a time. So
yeah, but he didn't really
and he didn't really need it either.
Yeah. Although, yeah, but having Brock walking around with the briefcase.
Yeah, but when you saw that happen, you didn't think that this is the reason why we're putting the Money in the Bank on Brock Lesnar, so he could come out and dance with the briefcase
and have a Brock party.
If that was the reason, you know what? Maybe I was wrong then. But
speaking of Brock, how about Jericho getting in his face?
They've never fought
after
each other,
Brock had that match with Randy Orton.
They've never fought each other. That's one match. That's probably the most anticipated match. That's probably something that will never happen. Like what are the odds of Undertaker versus Sting or Brock Lesnar versus Chris Jericho? Which one will happen first?
Jericho versus Brock will probably happen before Sting versus Taker.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. When Lesnar fought Randy Orton at SummerSlam and he busted him open with his elbow on purpose.
Okay.
Jericho got right in his face because he had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yes. Can
you imagine that? Because Jericho's what, 5'10"?
Yeah, but you know what? I've heard
Chris
Jericho is probably one of the toughest, like legitimately toughest guys in the locker room.
Took down Goldberg in the audience.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't give a shit who you are or what you've done. You'll go right to your face. And you know what? That's why I respect him for that.
Yeah.
I respect him for that. But yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you say we'll see that match, but what is that? What has to happen for that to happen? Brock Lesnar has to go to AEW, or unless WWE buys AEW tomorrow and says, okay, let's have the match.
They should not buy AEW tomorrow.
No,
I don't want to see AEW get fucking shit on and turned into WWE. Nobody needs that.
I bought my competition.
Yeah, again. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine WWE buys AEW and then that episode of Raw is the exact same episode from 2001, but instead of WC, he's just rattling off AEW. You want Jericho?
They bought WCW
Jericho?
for $4 million.
and he fired Jeff Jarrett.
I feel like I could have came up with $4 million with somebody, investors. Hey, look, I got an opportunity to buy WCW here. Yeah. You want to put in $100,000? We were like 20 guys or something, 40 guys. We put in $100,000
it's
each.
not a Danny's Pizza
Like,
you're fucking you're putting in
$4
for.
million? You kidding me? But that's just the whole thing. Is just they didn't buy contracts and everything. They bought. It was the licenses and the video packages, the video library,
and a bunch of contracts.
Yeah, and a bunch of like props in the back.
Definitely not Jeff Jarrett's though.
Yeah.
Poor bastard. Double G, double O, double N, double E. God.
Wait, is that how you spell? Okay. Oh man.
Fuck. Wild.
I would love to meet Chris Jericho. That's another thing. But
he gave you a shout out on the Saturday night
special.
special.
A shout out, yeah, Frank Jofo. It was actually like I was really surprised.
I'm sure we'll post a clip.
Yeah, we'll post that clip
from Winnipeg. Frank Jofo. What's up, Jofo? When's the last time you spoke to Kevin Owens? Great match tonight, Le Champion. Thanks, buddy. I speak to Kevin from time to time. You know, definitely still friends. And the only thing is when you're on the road, it takes you into different places. You know, and you're in different areas. So he's doing his gig and he's super busy, and I'm doing my gig and I'm super busy as well. So you know, I love Kevin. He's kind of reinvigorated my passion for the business in 2016, because I was going to leave the WWE in 2015. I never worked on TV. I just did house shows, live events, and I was like, yeah, I'll go back for 3 months and just, I can't remember what it was even for WrestleMania, maybe with AJ Styles or whatever it was supposed to be. And then I just suddenly started working with Kevin. I realized right away this guy's pretty funny, and he's got the same type of mentality that I do about the wrestling business. And I think I could do something with him. And suddenly I had so much fun with Kevin Owens. And I think, once again, if you go back and look at our storyline, it was the best story of the year, you know, top 3 for sure. And it went, once again, I think we started at SummerSlam and went all the way to the following April. So, I mean, that's what, August to July, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, 10 months, you know, 8 to 10 months, whatever it was. So that's a long time story. And we had a lot of good times. So nothing but love for Kevin. He's a great guy, and very, very talented.
But fuck, man, Chris Jericho, man.
What hasn't he done?
You think he's going to become the AEW champion again?
I hope so. I mean, dude, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way he'll take it, is if it makes sense.
Like, I could see him doing like a retirement match. That's what I could see that happening in AEW. But who will it be against? It has to be against Cody Rhodes.
Somebody he handpicks.
He handpicks Cody Rhodes?
I feel like he'd handpick somebody.
Like Cody Rhodes?
Maybe Cody Rhodes.
Like Cody Rhodes?
You want to see Cody Rhodes retire Chris Jericho?
No, I want to see the opposite. I want to see Chris Jericho retire Cody Rhodes. God damn it!
Who would you like to see him in a retirement match? If Jericho was supposed to retire and he picked one wrestler.
Well, he said that his last match, he would love it to be against Lance Storm. That's the consensus to what I understand. And supposedly, his first ever match was against Lance Storm. So it all comes full circle, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like Lance. I'm not saying Lance Storm like he's not a Brock Lesnar or Cody Rhodes or but I'm sure that would be a great match.
Oh, absolutely. Lance Storm's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Yeah. That was his thing.
Yeah.
Lance Storm. But you know what? I could see Lance Storm. I'd love to see Brock Lesnar versus Chris Jericho, but
yeah.
I don't know about that, but who knows, man? You never know. You never know in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Bruno will face Chris Jericho in his retirement match.
Maybe Danny Malazzi.
Maybe the Villamore Brawler comes out of retirement. Who knows? But
are you telling me there's a chance in this world that we might be able to see Chris Jericho versus the Villamore Brawler?
You just never know, man. But there's one thing you know you're going to see is Bruno versus Frank in a trivia match. That's for sure. And like I said, I hope to see that there's Chris Jericho questions in the questionnaire. But we'll
never
I guess
know.
We're gonna have to see. to find
Stranger
out.
things have happened.
Stranger things.
I'm all about those winners' purses. Besides, you want the real Le Champion to manage you?
Goes to bed with it and everything.
Oh, I sleep with this baby.
Looks good. Looks good. Man.
I don't
Looks
use
good.
a seatbelt. I just drape this over me while I'm driving in my car.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up.
The cops stop me. They're like, why are you in a hurry? I'm like, it's a gold rush.
Enough of this. I'm gonna puke. 30 years of Chris Jericho. What can I say to Chris Jericho right now if he was in front of me? Chris, thank
love
you
you
very much for what you've done for the world of professional wrestling. 30 more years, please. Don't stop what you're doing. You are the greatest of all time. We appreciate everything you do, and we cannot wait to see you on TV once again, like we do every week.
And
we love you, buddy.
And you obviously have a standing invitation
Yes.
to appear on the
And-
show. Obviously. If you
and-
ever want it.
You want to give us a shout out? You want to say hello to the Jofo in the Ring podcast? We greatly appreciate it. We love you, Chris. And hopefully, in the future,
I got it. Chris Jericho versus Lance Archer.
ooh, for a follow on Twitter.
Hey, maybe. That'd be a good match, though.
You know what? Honestly, I think Chris should do the. It's just sing. He hasn't sung his own entrance.
He needs
I
to
like that.
sing
I really
his
like
entrance.
that.
I'm telling you.
I really like
it's
that.
a great idea.
Yeah, it is a great idea. I like that, man.
And maybe
Hopefully
we'll
see it.
Maybe we'll see him on the cruise.
Maybe you know what? That's one thing I want to do is maybe go on that cruise. That's
I'd
it's
go
in
on
the
the
future.
cruise.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Didn't we say we were going to start a GoFundMe so people could send us on that cruise?
I think Bruno was supposed to take care of that, but well, we'll see if he did it. But
He's
anyways,
been slacking, though.
yeah, he's been slacking. Anyways,
Anyways.
guys,
Chris Jericho,
Chris Jericho, 30 years.
the man.
The GOAT.
Thank you so much.
The GOAT.
You're the GOAT.
The GOAT.
I said it. I
said
said
it
it.
first? Okay,
I
you
said
said
it.
it.
I said
You
it.
said
I admitted it. You're the GOAT. The greatest of all time. It's well deserved.
It is well.
My
done.
cookies. Put the cookie down.
And everyone, don't forget, before we get off the air, go to Jofo Podcast YouTube channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Catch Jofo Podcast every night. Every night.
Well, they could watch it every night. You could watch it every night. Just rewatch old episodes. Subscribe. Get your friends to like them. They're giving away what, gift cards there
What
now?
he said.
What are they? Whoa, how much you guys giving away over there? $150 in gift cards for 1,000 subscribers? Is
Well,
that it?
The road to 1,000 subscribers is on. That's what I know. That's all I know for now.
Yeah.
Once we get to 1,000, there's going to be some giveaways from Jofo in the Ring and Jofo Podcast as well.
What are we giving away?
They're going to have to see. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to show what we're going to be giving away. Sales. Guys, go there. Support the Jofo in the Ring. Support Jofo Podcast, like I said, every Monday night at 9 p.m. And Jofo in the Ring every Wednesday at 7 p.m. One thing you got to do to finish off this show.
This is my
And
favorite part.
remember,
My favorite part.
wrestling is life.